if I was just dating again, right?
You went to the grocery store today. Did you leave your head there?
I must have. Man,
right.
oh man.
You didn't know how to do this.
They'd be lined up. Hi everybody, it's the Papa from the Papa's Kitchen along with the Nana.
Yes.
And it's on the end of the week actually, it's Friday night. And I have been hankering for this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm doing shrimp and grits, a pure old, plain old, good old Louisiana shrimp and grits. And I'm going to, you know, grits and shrimp, down in like New Orleans and all, they eat it for breakfast, they'll eat it for brunch, they'll eat it for lunch, they'll eat it for...
it's their staple.
Yep, they'll eat it for dinner, anytime. I was remembering, actually, while I was preparing this, we attended a wedding. I was participating in a wedding, and the food at the end, you know, at the reception was this big buffet table of shrimp, grits, and they did other things. They had beef, I think, that they put.
It was a southern wedding.
Southern wedding, and I've even seen where they put beef, you know, like a real slow roasted beef, where it's, you know, beautiful, and the juice and on the grits. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. I'm actually going to do the shrimp today because I'm hungry for it, and a little bit of bacon on top that we crumble, cooked bacon, but this is going to be good.
The best grits I ever had was a slow cooker full of cheesy grits.
Oh, cheesy grits. And there's the other thing, you can do grits 1,000 different ways, just not just shrimp and grits. I mean, I've seen people put maple syrup on it. I don't like that. I like butter, I like salt and pepper, just plain grits. Cheesy grits is good. We're gonna put a little bit of tomato in our mix tonight, some green pepper. It's gonna be good.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is something I will like.
Anyhow, let me get going on this because I need to make a brief, quick stock, a shrimp stock. Instead of buying it, I just went ahead and I bought fresh shrimp, and that's deveined, but it still has the shell on it. And all you do to make this stock, because we're going to use it, they're large. Now they're not the jumbo, but they're large.
Not jumbo?
No.
Boy, they look really
They're big, but they're good. All you do is you take the shell off, and I'm collecting it here. I got most of those done already, and I pull this aside here a little bit.
I remember doing this before where you
devein them. Oh, no. They usually, most stores where I got Italian Market, I got these, they were fresh. They have them deveined, but they don't have the I want the shell on.
I don't think we're showing this actually.
Oh, no. Okay, well, there. I'm just taking the last 2 shells off, and I'm going to show you how to make a quick shrimp stock, which we'll actually use in this recipe today. I've got 4 cups of water right in there coming to a boil. I've got all of the shells from my shrimp all in this little bowl here that I've sort of collected. And really, it's such a simple thing to do. All you're going to do, let me get my hands clean here, is we're going to put those shells into this 4 cups of water in this Dutch oven. And we're going to, just like that. That's just what we're going to do, right like that. Boom, done. And then I'm going to put in a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm going to put in 1 bay leaf. Well, come on, 1. Here it is. Boy, you're having a hard time about here. And I'm going to put in 4 or 5 whole peppercorns. About 4 or 5. Oop. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go, 5. Take this, put that back in.
It's got shrimp.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It didn't. The 5-second rule. All right, and all we're going to do is stir this up, get it to a boil. There we go. Oh boy, great. And once it comes to a boil, I'm going to cover that. I'm going to take it off the fire, let it set for 5 minutes, and then I'll pour all that stuff out through my strainer, wire strainer. I keep the juice, of course, and the rest throw it away, and you got your stock. Earlier, I cooked up 4 slices of hickory smoked bacon, and I've got those done, and I'm going to chop those down here in just a second, just so that we can crumble those on top of the finished meal. But what I did do is I kept the drippings and the grease from the bacon, and we're going to use that. We're going to cook with that today. All right, so there's my shrimp ready to go, and I'm not quite ready to cook it. I'm going to put this in the fridge for a little bit while we work on some other aspects of this meal. This is going to be good. Nothing like fresh shrimp. Even my mother would enjoy this meal tonight, I got a feeling. Okay, we want it to get still to boiling here, and it's about going at it here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's great. Okay, so power off, lid on, and I'm gonna put this over to the side, and we're just gonna let that go for about 5 minutes. Simmered off here. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes. In the meantime, what I need to do next is I need to get my grits cooking, and it's going to take about 30 minutes to cook those. It's a very simple process. What we're going to do is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter in my what do they call that?
Saucepan.
Saucepan, thank you. After that's melted, I'm going to put in 1 cup of my grits, stone ground grits. And I'm going to actually, in that butter, toast these grits for about a minute and maybe 2 minutes at the most, and get them toasted. And afterward, I'm going to put in 3 cups of water and whisk the water in with the grits and get it all stirred up really nice. So we want that to, very nice. I had a big one. I don't know what I did.
You do. It's in the sink.
Oh, it's gonna collect my...
You went to the grocery store today. Did you leave your head there?
I must have. I must have. I'm gonna lower that heat just a little bit. I'm gonna put a cup of the grits in, and I'm gonna stir those in there and get those sort of toasted around, and that's gonna be good for about 1 or 2 minutes. And that sucks up all that butter. It's just really nice how that does that. This is a little different way than the package will tell you how to do grits, but it's all right. And then after this, like I said, I'm going to stick in 3 cups of water. I'm going to whisk that in, and I want to make sure when I'm doing this that there aren't any lumps. So we're going to make them really nice, smooth, and creamy. That's what makes good grits. All right, it's been about 1.5 minutes or so of toasting these grits, getting them all, oh, they're all infused, Susan, with that butter. It's just so nice, so good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 3 cups of water. I've got 2 cups here. We're going to bring this up, just like this. We're going to whisk those around. In fact, I should be doing a double-handed deal here. All I'm wanting to do here is make sure they're all blended and they are, thanks, boy, that helps. I can't walk down the hall and chew bubblegum at the same time.
You need me, babe.
I do. And do 1 more cup of water in there if you would for me. I just really want to make sure this is stirred, and while that's actually doing its thing for a second, let me get and put in some salt as well. We want to salt this up right now. I'm going to put in about 1.5 teaspoons of salt, kosher salt, and about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And I'm going to use just the regular ground pepper that I did. Oh, here it is, because I don't want the lumps of my other type of pepper. There you go. That's good. And we still continue to stir all that around. Make sure that that's, and she's done, so we're going to pour that off here in a second. But let me just get this going here. And I want to bring this to a boil, a light boil. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I guess this is a 2-handed meal, or a 4-handed meal, I should say.
Can be.
Yep, here we go. Oh, yeah, keep it pretty narrow. There you go. Oh my goodness, that's so good. And that, look at there, is my, Alexa, stop. That's my stock. And that, I mean, that's just good stuff. And we're going to use that a little bit later on too. All right, we're getting this up to a little bit of a light boil. And once that's done, I'm going to take this off of here and go transfer it to a burner that I've already got on back there at a low simmer. And Alexa, stop. Thank you. You know what? She did that on purpose. She did that on purpose. That little last beep.
I'll show you.
Show you, yeah, exactly. Still want that to come just a little bit more to a light boil before I release it over to the other stove. And honestly, there it is, really. So I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to take it, and we're going to put it over there. And we're going to let that just cook on that burner at a nice light simmer. And in the meantime, I'm going to take my pan that I used to do the bacon, and I'm going to do the next thing. But before I do, I really want to take the moment and prepare 1 green bell pepper. We're going to cut that up. We're going to cut into fine dice 1 sweet onion, medium, and this is a Vidalia. And then I'm also going to take these 2 Romas, and I'm going to de-seed them a little bit with a spoon, and then I'm going to dice to about 1½ cups of tomato, and this is all going to get blended in, and you'll see what happens here in a few minutes. So let me get working, because you know how to do a green pepper. And
we're just not sure you know.
That's the problem. I don't want you to see. That's right. That's a good point. And I'm going to get those done. And by the way, I got my knives sharpened yesterday. My good knives.
I know, I almost cut my thumbnail off.
That is so nice when knives are sharp. I got to get this going, or else I'm going to burn things here. So I'll come back to you as soon as I get this stuff all cut up. Okay, I'm ready to get going now with the next part. Assume that I just did the bacon. I did earlier. But I've got all that nice grease on the bottom of the pan. It's still hot. I'm going to put my shrimp in. I'm going to stir these for about 2 minutes in here. Let them cook until they're light pink. Now they're not going to be fully cooked, but I am going to get them sort of, I guess you could just say, partially cooked. Once about 2 minutes is up, I'm going to take them out, leave all that dripping in there, and I'm going to make a roux with the dripping, and then add some butter, add some flour, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. But I just want to make sure that these are being cooked here, and get a little bit of pink on them, get a little char on them. Nice. And by the way, these shrimp, the guy, I'm not a connoisseur or an expert on it, but he told me these are not farm raised. These are fresh out of the ocean, so you pay a little bit more, but the taste is so much better.
Are they out of the Gulf or the ocean?
You know, I imagine the Gulf.
Yeah, probably. Gulf shrimp are so good.
And it takes in all that butter, I mean that, bacon flavor, and my mouth is watering, Sue.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. Can I encourage you guys to think about just, I know some people don't like shrimp or even like cooking seafood. It seems like it's sort of a hard thing to do or whatever. It really isn't. I really encourage you to try, and I mean, you can't go very much wrong with these things. I know I did a scallop dinner the other night. Okay, hey, by the way, 2 tablespoons of butter in there. Get those going. And even scallops, people, oh my goodness, no, oh, it smells so good. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to cook this and whisk it for about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm wanting it to get a caramel color, a little bit darker roux, and we're just going to keep stirring it and getting it all blended, get all the lumps out, of course, until it gets to that caramel color. And you can see all that leftover bacon in there and all, woof, looking good. Okay, let me keep doing this for a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you what we're gonna do next. All right, now it's been just about 5 minutes and you can see it already. It's getting nice and caramely. So I want to take that medium onion that I've diced, that sweet onion, and a half a fine diced green bell pepper. And I want to run these and saute these for about 5 minutes until they're nice and soft and somewhat even translucent. And they get all coated. You're going to watch how this all comes together. It's going to be a beautiful sauce that we're making along with the shrimp that'll go on top of those grits. And oh my goodness, this is going to be good. And I just keep stirring this, and then I'm going to come back. We're going to add the tomatoes. We're going to add some garlic and put the shrimp back in shortly. It's all going to be good. Okay, these have gotten soft in about 5 minutes there, 6 minutes. I'm going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm going to add the tomatoes. And it's about 1.5 cups of tomatoes where I've taken the seeds out. Stir that in, and I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of Creole seasoning, and I've got that right here. Sprinkle that around, and I'm using, you can use any one, but I'm using Zatarain, and we're going to cook this now for about 5 minutes or so, and then come back. This thing is going to thicken up real nicely, and we're going to plate everything up. We're almost ready to go. All right, it's been running, and those tomatoes are now cooked down a little bit. They're nice and soft. Everything's there. It's maybe cooking a little on the bottom, you can see, but that's all going to come up because right now what I'm going to do, here we go. I'm going to take and put in about 1/2 cup of white wine. There we go. Is that about 1/2 cup? Yep. And we're going to put that in. And in addition, we're going to add the stock back in. And I'm probably not going to do it all. I'm going to give a good amount here, keep some to the reserve. Continue to stir this, and with that flour in there, this is going to thicken up. Well, after that boils a little bit, a light boil, I'm going to stir the shrimp in, and we're going to cook those a little bit longer in this beautiful stuff. They're going to be done, and then we're going to plate things up. So, very easy, honestly. You just got to sort of keep ahead of the game. And you know, the trick is, I think, oftentimes is prep. If you can do your prep ahead of time, that's what at least works for me. Some of you are much better at this than I am. But when you prep it, everything, then you're not trying to run to catch up. And I did that a little bit today because I was just showing you the whole ingredients before I cut them up, like the tomatoes, onions, and bell peppers. My mouth is watering, Sue. I don't know about you, but I'm going nuts with this. The smell. All right, I'm putting the shrimp back in. We're going to let that cook for a little bit, about 3 minutes or so, and those are going to get really nice and much more pink. What happened, just for your information, that everybody makes a mistake, I put way too much of the stock back in. I was only supposed to do about 1 cup, and I put about 2.5 cups. So I grabbed some of that juice out of there, and I also then made myself with a little flour and some of the juice left over. I made a little slurry, and I got it down where it needs to be, and it's nice and it's better. So we're gonna let those cook for a little bit. That's gonna be just really good. I got my bacon all ready. I just want a few chives here that we can put on top.
So you're only supposed to use
a 1/2 cup of wine and only 1 cup of the stock that you've made.
And then pour it in gradually, and you make it as thick as you want,
you make it as thick as you want. Exactly right. Exactly right. So, I'm going to use these white bowls here, Sue.
Okay, I'm getting some of this out of your way.
Yeah. And we're ready. We're about ready to eat. Oh my goodness! Look at that. That just really looks good.
I think it's going to be perfect.
Oh, it's going to be great. I want to put some of the grits.
Because the grits are kind of thick anyway.
Yeah, they're a little thick. I don't know why.
Well, I think people eat them different ways.
Different ways. They are tasty as all get out, so I'm not too worried about that part. Those are ready. That is all ready to go. So watch this. Really, I made enough for 4. Put some bacon on there. put some chives. Look at this. That, my dear, is dinner.
Wow, it's another restaurant meal, hon.
It's another restaurant meal, and it's so darn good.
I mean, you talk about impressing people if you want to cook them something.
Boy, if I was just dating again, right? Man,
right.
Oh man.
You didn't know how to do this.
They'd be lined up. Oh my goodness sakes.
So they weren't lined up?
No, they really, yes, they were lined up. What am I talking about? I had to beat them off with a stick. That's right. That's right. I let you into my life, and
that's right.
I haven't looked back, I will admit.
I had to fight them off to get to you.
You did. That's exactly. You know you did. Oh yeah.
Well, you do what you have to do.
They saw the potential in me even before you did.
Yes. Why didn't you show me this skill early on?
This skill of cooking? No,
Yes.
because then you would have made me cook all of our married life with those children and everything. I don't want to mess with all that. Thanks for watching, coming by the house and seeing what we're doing for dinner tonight. And I'll tell you what, this will make you happy. If you do this, you'll get happy. And I'll see you next time.